Hey guys, this is going to be, and I've been meaning to do this for a while, this is going to be a quick, I wouldn't even say it really is a tutorial on Picmonkey, the graphic design program that I use primarily for the graphics that I make, but I'm only going to hit on maybe like 2 or 3 different things, but there's so many things that it can do. So this is at no, by no means an extensive tutorial. This is just a few things maybe that you might find helpful. And I did want to say that this does not, you don't have to spend an extensive amount of time on graphics or things like that. I think I may mention before that I really enjoy doing it. It's like an outlet for me. It's like therapeutic and it's artistic. I just like to do that part. So you don't have to do it, but I know some of you had asked about it. So I have been meaning to get this out to you. So this is maybe like 2 or 3 things as far as what you can do with Picmonkey. And yeah, so I will share my screen now and get that started for you. Okay, so depending on what you want to do would depend on which option up here in the top bar that you would pick. So you would want to go to picmonkey.com. Now, I don't use this on my phone. For all the things that I use, for all the quick graphics and logos, and if I'm just adding fonts very quickly, so not doing a lot of like erasing the background or changing a lot of like moving around or combining a lot of photos or things like that. If I'm just adding text, I will use Word Swag. Word Swag is the mobile app that I use. But if I'm working on my computer, then I will use Picmonkey. So I know that Picmonkey does have a mobile app, but I'm not a fan of it. So I only use Picmonkey when I'm using my computer. So up here at the very top, it will have Edit, Touch Up, Design. I've only really used, I go back and forth between Edit and Design, because if you want to change, so let's just say you wanted to make a photo black and white. So I like to use the black and white option a lot. You need to go to Edit. If you were in Design and you try to do that, it won't work. So if you are actually making tweaks to the original photo like that, you're going to, as far as filters and that kind of thing, you're going to want to use Edit. But I'm going to go in here to Edit and pick this one as far as, I was going to use Gabe because she actually asked about this one, and I know she, I hope she doesn't care. So as far as making the shape cutouts, so I could, and I'll just go in here and show you about, let's say I did want to make this black and white. That would be the second option down over here, and this is where you're going to get all of those different options. As far as, I like to use all these black and white options here. And I also really like to use dark edges a lot in all my photos. But that's how I do that part. But we're not doing that right now. So as far as the shape cutout, so that you get like perfect circles, and I use that for our banner when I put like the Success Club leaders, I use the shape cutouts a lot. It's actually under the frame option. So underneath the butterfly, there's a frame option. And you're going to click that and go to the very top, and it says shape cutouts. And then that's how you can get, I could make a heart, I could make a star, but I usually go with the perfect circle. And then you can change the size on that, and that's how I get your faces. And that makes it a transparent background. So then I can just save this, and I have several already saved as far as that goes, and then that way then I have that, you have to apply it first, then I have that to design other photos in the future. So that's how you get the perfect circles and shapes. Now you go up here to save, and let's just say then you would save it, but we're not going to save that right now. So that was one option as far as how I get the perfect circles in Picmonkey. Now let's just say I have these already up here to save time. So let's just say you wanted to know how to erase the background. This is the one where if you're going to play around with backgrounds and things like that, you use the design option. This is not under edit. So there at the white top, the banner at the top where it said edit, different options up there, you would go to the design option and you go to the butterfly and you're going to come up here to add your own, and that's where you go to your photo section, whatever, and you're going to add in your own. So I added this one in. Let's just say I wanted to play around with this one, and let's make this one black and white, because let's see, super black and white. Oh no, I can't do that. That's why I have to go in and edit that one. Okay, so never mind. So we are erasing the background on this one. So when you click on it, you will have, let's see, the eraser option over here. And I usually change the hardness to barely anything and the eraser size pretty big. And then that way it just allows you to come in here and erase this background so that you can, so I'll do this whenever I am like putting quotes in the side or something like that. If I want it to be like really clean cut over here and clear, I'll use that to erase the background. If you mess up, you can just always use the paintbrush and put it back on. So that's how that works. So I wanted to show you that quickly. And then lastly, I wanted to show you, well, I was going to show you how I do like the calendars and things, but that's pretty self-explanatory. So let's just say I always start with usually this template, but let's just say that we're not going to have a team call this Wednesday or something, so I need to get rid of that. I use a lot of the geometric shapes. Oops, delete that one. And you can make it so that you can actually use it as a eraser. So we don't need this one. And then that way, that's gone. But I will also do that, and I like to switch up the colors because I don't know why. I think it was brown because it was like Thanksgiving or something. And we don't want brown anymore. We want red because it's Christmas. So this is where I'll just change up the colors and I'll play around with this that way. So these are just options. Again, you don't have to do this stuff, but I'm just showing you how I do these. So there would be that. The butterfly, no, not the butterfly. The T, the text, is going to be your, so let's just say we're going with the 25th. And we want that red. Actually, if you click on that, it becomes a dropper and you can perfectly match different colors. So I do that a lot. Let's say the 25th is what, Sunday? Christmas. So that's how I do that. So I just play around with it and add text in and things like that. And then, yeah. I wanted to show you lastly as far as the design, and so this is what I was talking about with the design here. If I was going to, when you want to merge different things together, so it's not just editing one photo, you want to, like, sometimes I add in several photos, so if it's like top leaders or whatever, and so that's under design. But I was just going to show how I kind of create some things. The butterfly I use a lot, so that's where you're going to add in. I'm going to go to brushes. I have a lot more of these on my other computer, so let's just go with this one. Okay, so here's a pink streak. And let's just say I was adding in, we'll just use Gabe today. So desktop, let's go to, let's use Gabe. Okay, so there's her shape cutout that I've used before. And let's put her, we're putting her up here. And you can change the background. So that would be the canvas color under the very first option there. And you can play around with this. And let's go with, like, I know she likes pink, so let's go with that one. Let's make this bigger. Yeah. And then at any point in time, if you know you want something to stay how it is, you can always come down here to this little level there. And if you click this, it will combine everything you already did. So it's not like moving around anytime you move something. So that's kind of nice when you get all these layers, because I like to layer things a lot. So it's nice to like combine the whole thing, so then that once you have something set, it's not moving around every time you go to move something else around, and that gets frustrating. So I usually like to add in layers, like I said. So let's just say I need to send that backwards behind her. And let's make it, this is where you can, like I said, color match using this. So if I wanted it that color, the same color as that, I could do that. But let's make it white. Yeah, okay. And then font is the T. Let's just say we were going to go with to like the font. Yeah, let's go with that font. Make it bigger. I don't like the G. So I can change it. Yeah, let's go with that. And I always like to make like the different name, or the names different. So I like this one a lot for some reason. So this is how I do this whenever I create these. Make that bigger. Let's make this bigger. And smaller. Yeah, and then let's just say, because she has been the top coach a lot, top coach of the month. Okay, so make that white. Now you can always, I'm obviously going to crop this because I have a lot of space. So let's go ahead and do that. So you go to the very top one. Let's crop that. Now, just because we're already on here, let's just say you can play around with fading, and let's just say we're gonna spice this up a little bit. So like I said, I like to play with layers. So send this to the back. And actually send it. Yeah, like that. And you can play around with it. But you can also do things where you can fade it in and out. So this probably won't look that good faded, but you can, I like to do this sometimes just so you barely see it, and it's just a little different just to highlight the font sometimes, but I like it kind of like this, so there. And then you could play around with different borders, and you could do different things like that, but that's how I create those. Again, there's so many different options. The themes right now, you have your winter themes, different holidays and things like that are in there. As far as different things as on the calendar that I use pretty much every week would be, here are the arrows that I use. Now I do have the upgraded version, but you would have all these top ones here. And then the crown is the ones that, like, if you pay for it. Because I play with this so much though, it's like $3.99 a month. So I get that. And then the correction marks, I use these for the vitals on the cover page, or the cover page. So I'm trying to think if there's anything. There's so many things that you can do as far as even down here is textures. So I've done that before where if you wanted, you can play around with this stuff and just have a lot of fun. So sometimes I get a little crazy just because it's fun and I find a new thing. I use this one a lot, the paint one. So yeah, you can have fun with it. I hope that helped. Let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, hopefully that helped a little bit, but if you come across something and you want to know how I did it or whatever, again, this is not at all saying that you need to use this at all, but I know some of you were wondering, so I thought that I would just make this quick. So have a great Friday, and very Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you before that. See you guys.